Uh,
Gita,
yes.
what is the immediate provocation for this? In fact, this week the center has extended the ban on 9 extremist Meitei groups. You would have seen that development, right? You
Right.
yourself have been part of talks that the Home Minister Amit Shah has led in the past. What is the provocation for having a rally and talking about self-rule? Do you not think that it will hurt the interests of the Kuki people to talk like this? The Meitei groups have already called the Kuki people separatists, anti-India, right? Accused you of links with Myanmar and so on. When you talk like this, do you not think it will hurt the causes that you're trying to draw attention to? Why would you talk about something as extreme as self-rule? And what you mean by this, of course, is a separate administration. But what is the practicality of this?
Um, Ever since the crisis broke out, like I said before, we have been driven out from the Imphal Valley. People are so many lives has been lost, properties, many properties has been damaged. So we've been driven out, and we are not wanted in the state of Manipur anymore. That's why we demanded a separate administration from the government. So, like I said, this separate administration demand will take some time. So, while we are in the process on the road to the separate administration, what we are thinking is we have our MLAs, we also have our government employees, officers. So, we can all we can set up a kind of a governing body in all the hill districts. In all the headquarters of the hill district so that we can start thinking about development for our people because the Meitei government, the Manipur government will not think about our development. For example, in October 23rd, Biren Singh has written to the tribal minister Arjun Munda, Sri Arjun Munda, asking for approval for 6 tribal projects. So the the chief minister is trying to uh, take away all our fund. That's why there's a need to quickly set up uh, a government under the Constitution of India to start uh,
But you
channelizing
need
all the tribal funds for our people.
but you need the support of the center to have any administrative authority, right? What is the purpose of such a governing body that is not recognized by the state or the center? How will it function? How will it raise funds? How will it, perform day-to-day functions? How will it work?
Right. That's why we've been demanding the central government to give a separate administration again and again. If the central government is ignoring our requests, we have no choice because we need to survive as well. We cannot go
So,
on like this. We cannot be on a standstill waiting for the government to give us a solution.
but suppose you go ahead in 2 weeks from now and you actually declare this self-governing unit of administration. How will it work? Where will its funds come from? Today, there are people who are, you have often said you have difficulty in accessing medical supplies, for example. How will you access anything? What does it actually mean in real terms, Ginza?
Right. The 2 weeks is, I think, is misquoted. Our secretary have told the media person that it could be 2 weeks, could be 2 months, it could be 2 years. So it's 2 weeks is the time period is not
So there's no immediate threat that you're making.
right. Our secretary is just speaking out our plan to the media. That's what it is. So we've been still discussing. The plan is still on discussion, and we'll have to consult the legal people also to look at the legal aspect also whether this is feasible under the Constitution of India. So it's just a plan, Barkha.
The chief minister on his social media platforms today has also declared a war against drugs, a war against narcotics. I'm sure you would have
Mhm.
seen that as well. And there
Right.
is a destruction drive that is being carried on on the sort of the growth or in these poppy fields. How do you react to this declaration?
Yes, she's been doing this declaration against the narco terrorists or against the poppy cultivation. I think it's just a way of him trying to get media attention and the government attention. So and he is tagging us as a poppy planters or a narco terrorist. So it does not go well with us because not every one of us are into this cultivation.
Yes, but do you in principle support this war on drugs?
Yes, in fact, many of our CSO, civil society organization, have uh, declared their support to the Biren war against drugs previously. Yes.
So tell me, your own tone sounds quite conciliatory. Do you believe that certain members of your group have spoken out of turn?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Do you believe that certain of your colleagues should not have used the words that they did on self rule?
No, self-rule, yes. I would rather use the term governing body than a self-rule because we need the support of the central government
Yes.
in any way. So it would be like another office or another secretariat set up in the Hill District is what I would say
Let
because
me
our
ask.
MLAs are not functioning as they are supposed to be. So all the development funds or development process are on a standstill. So the ball has to roll. So
Hmm.
we need to start working. That's why our MLS cannot be just sitting idle somewhere. They need to come home. They need to work. They need to set up their office in our land along with our people. Start working. Start planning, and that's what we meant by the governing body.
So you are talking about a governing body, not self-rule. That's an important clarification. Let me ask you
Mhm.
this: you have or your colleagues have alleged bias in favor of the Meitei community, but the Meitei community also has people who are suffering, right? There has been
Mhm.
a student kidnapping complaint in which, in fact, two Kuki members have been arrested. Two Kuki members of your community have been arrested. Uh, Previously, also, if you remember, the bodies of two other students were at least sort of revealed in photographs that went viral, and that led to a new period of unrest. So two different sets of students in the Meitei community kidnapped. I know in your own community there has been a soldier's family, a Kuki soldier's family, whose relatives were kidnapped. And I was, in fact, interviewing the son of one of the women, and he believes his mother has been murdered. I think what I'm trying to say is both communities are suffering, right? Both communities are
Mhm.
suffering. Why are you all not talking about reconciliation and intra community dialogue? Why is no one speaking about that?
We have reached a point where we cannot reconcile anymore because too much blood has flowed already. And even today, if you have read the news, the education minister of Manipur vows that he will remove Kuki from the history, from the book of history of I think class 10 or 12. So such is the hatred which the Metis community have against the Kukis. So if that kind of hatred has been still if that kind of hatred is still spreading or being spread by the Métis leaders, there's the point of talking together or living together is not there, I would say.
Let
That's
me
why the
let me
need
let,
for,
let, let me
yes,
ask you let me ask you a personal question. Do you still have friends from the Metis community?
yes, I do have Métis friends. Yes.
So the fact that you still have Metis friends means that at a personal level, people
Hmm.
do have connections. Why are you not channeling that friendship?
Right now, the best is not to talk right now because so much killing, so much is happening. So yes, we on a friendship term, in that way, I have no issue with my friend, made friend. But in terms of when it comes to the politics and the community wise, I don't feel comfortable, or I don't think it's the right time for right now to have a talk.
So, what is the way forward, Ginza? And also, can I ask you, there are still bodies of your community that are in the hospital morgues in Imphal. What has happened to them?
Right. We've been requesting the government to return the dead bodies that are lying in the hospital morgues in Infal from the first time we had a talk with the Union Home Minister. And till now, our request has not been granted. And we wanted them to bury our deads, which are lying here in our district, but the Union Home Minister requested us to defer the burial, and from that point on, we were not able to bury the deads. And recently, I think last week or last week, um, official from the Ministry of Home Affairs came to our district to discuss about the burial also. They still wanted us to change the burial location or burial site because according to them, the burial site is a conflict zone. So negotiations are still on, and since we already delayed the burial once, so the
Mm,
next time we will do the burial, we wanted to do the burial of all the dead bodies which are lying outside the district also at one grand funeral.
mm.
So we told the government that please return the dead bodies that are lying in Fal so that we can go ahead and do the final honorable last rite for our deads. So they are yet to respond to that.
Let me ask you this. You have been in the past in touch with bureaucrats of the central government. You have been in touch with the home minister. Uh, in the last few months or in the last few weeks, have those channels of communication remained open
Yeah, we've been in constant in touch with the yes, the government, the official. Yes,
with the central government?
yeah, that's right.
So, what is the deadlock over right now? What is the specific deadlock?
In terms of burial or what, or the political demand,
Overall.
right? We've been asked to maintain peace, and I don't know uh, what by what do they mean by peace? Is it the absence of violence? Because peace is not necessarily the absence of violence. So, and violence can be invoked by the other side anytime. So I think the government is kind of stalling our demand. That's
Hmm.
why the need for our self governance came up
Yes, but
because
the
we don't
self
know when.
governance,
Yeah.
I still don't understand because you yourself say that even for self governance, you will need the center. You need the center, correct?
Yes.
So, how does this work?
I don't know honestly, but we will work it out. It has with or without the central health, we have to fight for our survival.